There's a problem when it comes to connectivity in Iowa.
Gaps in cell service and broadband coverage isn't just an inconvenience for cell users. The problem also puts many Iowans at a disadvantage when it comes to health and education. Here is a look at a coverage map from the nonprofit Connect Iowa. The areas in yellow, orange, and red show pockets where there's no broadband provider. Fox 18's Tahera Rahman reports what Congressman Loebsack says he's doing about the issue in tonight's special report.
In March, President Trump signed Congressman Loebsack's proposal into law. It calls on the Federal Communications Commission to redraw their coverage maps to better pinpoint which areas need more help. Loebsack says not only cell phone users rely on that coverage, but it's also an essential service for students and hospitals in rural communities.
What my bill does, and I got Republicans on board as well, is it instructs the FCC to use better information, to come up with better information, whatever that may be, so that they can map the country. We have to know where there's coverage and where there isn't before we can solve the problem of lack of coverage. It's a basic first step that has to be taken, but hasn't been taken in the past. A lot of these small towns that do not have adequate coverage, students can't go home, for example, also in the rural areas, and be able to expect their homework. It's called the homework gap, because more and more kids are assigned homework and they've got to be on the internet to accomplish that. And if they can't do that, they're going to fall behind in school. A lot of our rural hospitals, they do want to be connected to urban areas through telehealth, for example. But if they don't have sufficient broadband, they can't be connected.
How long before something like this, the FCC creating this new map, before it goes into effect and Iowans can actually see it?
Well, hopefully in the next year or so. That's the plan. We have to keep on them.
Net neutrality rules and the FCC's recent ruling, how does that play a factor?
Well, that's a great question, because I think what you've got there is a situation where if the new FCC rules go through, there are going to be folks in Iowa and around the country who may be facing some slow speeds, so-called throttling it's called. It's going to be more difficult in some cases, but hopefully that's not going to be the case. We're going to continue to work on that as well. There are court cases there, so this is going to get slowed up.
And there is more to Tahera's conversation with Congressman Loebsack.
What Loebsack says is wrong about the president's approach to tariffs on Chinese products tomorrow night here on Fox 18 News at 9.